Okay, the first item of business this evening is a special dedication of the Carl J. Holman Video and Recording Studio. Most of us remember Carl Holman as a community-minded individual, very much involved in the community. He was instrumental in setting up the video and recording studio here at the town hall. He was very involved in the recent Verizon franchise agreement process that we went through just about a year or so ago. And Carl devoted a lot of time, a lot of hours to assisting our cable committee to go over and fine-tune the terms of the agreement with Verizon. And he also assisted the Verizon technicians in setting up the studio here. And he never billed the town for that. He put a lot of time in, and you know, I remember Carl as just the type of guy who would do anything for anybody. Didn't matter what it was. All you just had to do was ask, and in some cases, you didn't even have to ask. He just offered his services, and he did it. That's the type of individual he was. And he passed away, was it about 6 months ago? About 6 months ago, unfortunately, Carl passed away. He had a medical condition that he fought and he battled, and unfortunately he succumbed to that. And we all miss him greatly here in the town of Carmel. I know I do. I know most people that are here tonight remember Carl and miss him as well. So we're going to dedicate the room to him. We have a plaque that's above the door in the back of the recording studio, and we're going to break now and then move to the back of the room, and then we're going to set up back there, and then we're going to go ahead with the dedication. All right? Before we do that, any board members want to say anything about Carl?
I think it would be very appropriate to say something about Carl. I didn't know Carl prior to my being involved with the town board, not with the town board, but with the town. And I can honestly say he was a lovely man. He was a lovely man because he would come over to you. He always had something very positive to say to you. You might have felt in a funk, negative, down, and he would come over, and just a matter of a few words, he'd make you feel better. And of course, he had a love for life, and it was obvious in everything he did. And he took great pleasure in doing the meetings. And I sincerely mean this. I miss him. I really do. Thank you.
You know, Carl was absolutely, he was a unique person, and knowing Carl for many, many years, especially around the ball fields and with the kids, and he just always, hey, Rich, come here. You know, let me show you something, especially with this room. Once he got the room going, he says, let's do this, this is wrong. And then after the meetings, you'd go out, and I'll tell you what, I don't think there's one time when we went and we didn't laugh with Carl. I don't think there's one time when Carl didn't mention his family while we were out. You know, something. I mean, sons. You know, he was a great guy, and you know, we're going to miss him. This town will miss his ability.
And he loved this time of the year because he would tell people what was going to happen before it happened. Carl would let you know his feelings and tell you what was going to happen before it happened. And he's, I'm sure, looking down on this, being honored tonight that we're honoring him with this dedication in the back. I can tell you, you know, coming onto this board 6 years ago and meeting Carl here and then actually doing some videotaping along the way. And he would always say, Anthony, when you speak, just speak from your heart. And if you speak from your heart, you can never lose. And I'll always remember that. Great guy. He was so proud of his children, his grandchildren. I can remember when up at his house in the studio and kids running around, and he'd be talking about, you know, how they were the love of his life, as long as his wife. And we miss him very much, and I think it's a great dedication for him, so it'll be lasting in his memory. So, you know, we want to thank the family for all your support of the town board. We know a lot of hours away from home with him, videotaping, not just here, but in other towns. And you allowed him to pursue his love, and we thank you for allowing him to be able to do that. So thank you, and God bless.
Yeah. I could say quite a few things about Carl, but we'd be here for the rest of the night. But Carl was a super professional. He loved his profession. He paid extreme attention to detail. If you did a video with him, whether it was a political one, public service, he wanted to get it right. But he also had a great sense of humor. And sometimes the perfectionist and the sense of humor sort of got a little bit mixed up. I was doing a hard to think about, Carl, without getting choked up. But I have to remember his sense of humor. I was doing a commercial with him, with Rudy Giuliani. And first of all, he insisted, get close together, get closer, get closer. So I can't remember who landed up sitting on whose lap. That was bad enough. But he started to shoot. He says, no, 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 no. I says, what's wrong, Carl? He says, your head. I says, what about my head? He says, it's interfering with the light, the glare. I says, Carl, I says, what do you want me to do, wear a wig? He says, no, 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 I'm gonna fix it. And he comes with a spray can. I said, get out of here. Now, Rudy is having a ball, you know, ha, 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 Bob. And I says, you're gonna be there soon enough. He didn't think he would, but he did. And then Carl goes, shh. But he was serious, and then we shot the commercial. But a great professional, and we really miss him.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Bob. Yeah, Carl, he had loved this community, loved the people in this community. He especially had a passion for the athletes that participated in sports programs, either with Mahopac schools or Carmel schools. And he was at just about every event, filming that event for the students, for the athletes. And just speaking personally, with my 3 children, he, we had to put tapes together to send out to colleges. And what you would do is you'd edit the tapes, you'd cut clips out of it that you wanted to send out to the college coaches. And he would spend hours in his studio at home just going through those tapes, and he would meet with the student, the athlete, and the parents to go over those tapes and cut them out. Then he'd add music to them. And he just said he had a keen ability to really put together the right clips out of that tape that he did to send out to the coaches. And he did that for everybody. You know, it didn't matter who you were. If you wanted your child, and he wanted your child to succeed. He wanted them to do well in college and participate in college sports. He just loved to do that. And very rarely did he really even bill you for it. You know, that's the type of person Carl was. You know, so, and I am really, you know, I really got to know Carl when I ran for office in 2007. And, you know, Carl and I shared a lot of good conversations, spirited conversations about the campaign. And he seemed to have a lot of intel, you know, information that he'd love to pass along to me, but he would never disclose where he got it from.
His source.
He said, his source. I can't tell you. I can't tell you that. And don't ask me again, because I'm not going to tell you. But that was Carl, you know. But so he's really going to be missed by all of us. And I think this is fitting that we're going to dedicate the studio here in Carl's name. And that plaque will forever be above the studio door there. And when we unveil it in a few minutes in the back, you're going to see, you know, not going to say what it says on it, you know, but you guys, you're going to get a little chuckle out of it. And you're going to really understand why Carl was who he was and what he did, okay, for the community. So, Paul, do you want us to just break on camera 1 and then we'll move to the back? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to break here and we're going to move to the back of the room where we're going to unveil the plaque in memory of Carl Holman. Thank you.
Who's What? Now what?
No, it's Wilson.